مصلحا ومجددا فارنوا بنظر طاهر وجنان.
We have Mashood Badsai with us. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Walaikum Assalam, Razi bhai. Can you hear me properly?
Yes, I hear you. How are you doing, Mashood
I
sir?
am perfectly fine. Thank you very much. First of all, thank you very much for taking me on. I just
Jazakumullah.
heard your conversation with the brother. I don't know his name because I just turned your stream on like in the last 5-7 minutes when you were explaining. So the reason I called because I accepted Ahmadiyyat myself, although it's long time, no, more than 20 years. And my main conversion point was death and life of Jesus.
MashaAllah.
And mashallah, you are a scholar. I'm no scholar at all.
No. Please
So
tell us, Mashood Sahib,
yeah,
which verses, and especially what this brother is trying to argue, which verses convinced you that Hazrat Isa alayhi salam has died, and what message would you give to this brother? Because he's really angry right now. He couldn't find a verse in the Quran that says Hazrat Isa alayhi salam was raised to the skies. In the start, he was saying, oh, it doesn't say body. I don't know. It could be shoes. It could be Isa alayhi salam's nails or his socks, whatever he said. And now he's trying to say, no, I meant it was the Bible. So, Mashud Sahib, if you can explain which verses convinced you, and what would you say to him regarding his arguments, I should say.
yeah, Brother Razi, I will try my best to remain as brief as I can because I know it's your stream and mashallah, you explain beautifully yourself. First thing which really convinced me, Hazrat Masih Maud Wasalam, he made it very clear. He said, if you prove that Jesus is alive, I will leave my claim of being promised Messiah. And in two of his books, one is in Lecture Sialkot, the second one is Ayamus Sula. Hazur wrote it very clear that death of Jesus is the root or the foundation of my claim. ये मेरे दावे की जड़ है. And I always request to my non-Ahmadi brothers that, it is very easy. That's you want to persuade us that Nauzubillah min Zalik, Mirza Sahib was a false claimant. And he has made the job very easy for you. How much time does it take to prove that Jesus is alive in the light of Holy Quran? When I first time came across Mirza Sahib's claim, I thought it's very easy to prove. And I went to the scholars. I knew because I thought it will be written in Holy Quran. Hazrat Masih Maud Wasalam wrote in one of his books that Holy Quran proves the existence of God. And all the miracles God has shown, he has described them very clearly in detail in Holy Quran. For example, he saved Hazrat Ibrahim wasalam from the fire. This was a miracle. And this proves that God exists. And God wrote this very clearly in detail in Holy Quran. These are my words, but Hazur wrote all these things in his own words. Then Hazur mentioned the incident of Moses. Then Hazur mentioned the incident of John, Hazrat Yunus. So Hazur said all these miracles, the reason God wrote in Holy Quran to prove his existence. If Jesus was taken physically on the sky and he is alive till today, this was the biggest miracle which could have easily proven his existence. Why God did not mention in this Holy Quran? And then I was surprised there's not a single word in Holy Quran alive. Jesus is alive. That's all God should have written down. And also he is all knowing. So God knew very well that Mirza Ghulam Ahmad Qadiani ﷺ will come. And he will use this as a very strong point of his claim. Why didn't he mention? That was the first thing which hit me very hard. Where is the word alive? That is the belief I am holding, that Jesus, may Allah peace be upon him, is alive till today. Where is the word alive? Second thing which surprised me, the word God has used, tawaffa or tawafi, no one can deny that tawafi has the meaning, if it is used in a certain way, of death. It has. Even I think the brother who was talking with you recently, I couldn't hear his name, he agreed that the meaning is death when it is used in certain way. Why God would do that? Jesus is alive and God is using a word which has a meaning of death. Third thing, now, Hazrat Masih Maud wrote down in many of his books that this word has been used in Holy Quran. Correct me if I'm wrong, Brother Razi, 23 times, more or less. And twice the word is used about Prophet Muhammad, may Allah peace be upon him. Aw natawafayannaka. Aw natawafayannaka. And there, every scholar takes the meaning exactly death. Isn't it? So, then Quran says, I will just quote this verse if you allow me. And this verse has been repeatedly used in Holy Quran. Walakad sarrafna fi hazal Qurani liyazakkaru wama yaziduhum illa nufur. And this verse God has used repeatedly in Holy Quran, that I have repeatedly discussed the subjects in Holy Quran in so many different ways. So this is the verse of Holy Quran. And when we research about the word tawaffi in Holy Quran, 23 times we find this word God has used. What message he is trying to give us? Very simple. وَلَقَدْ يَسَّرْنَا الْقُرْآنَ لِلذِّكْرِ فَهَلْ مِن مُدَّكِرٍ. When I was researching, Brother Razi, wherever Hazur mentioned any verse of Holy Quran, I bought different translations, Shia translation, Deobandi translation, Barelvi translation, because I wanted to see different scholars how each and every place they either take the meaning straight away death, or taking the soul, leaving the soul from body. They have used different. Khuda ne utha liya. But all those, different words meaning is death. So why God has used the word which strengthened our hand? God is not helping them at all. If there is one example that God has used this word tawafi about any human being, and there even Ahmadis take the translation, taking the body physically, then they still have the argument. So unfortunately, being emotional will not help at all. There are so many people becoming Ahmadi every year. Why? Criticizing Hazrat Masih Maud will not help at all. When I sometimes hear the streams of different non-Ahmadi youngsters nowadays, they are having streams. They call us, they say, you have 2 minutes, just answer the question. I was a non-Ahmadi. I was thinking that yes. All the questions our scholars have told us, we will bash Ahmadis. Trust me, when you go outside and talk to Ahmadis, that's not a stream going on where you will say only 2 minutes and they will sit in front of you. They will give you 10 answers of each and every accusation you raise. 10 answers. And you know what happens then with the normal, ordinary people like me? We think either our scholars have no knowledge or they are lying. Because they told, for example, I was told there is no prophet who has plural name. Mirza Sahib's name, Mirza, Ghulam, Ahmad, Qadiani. And every prophet has single name, Isa, Musa, Yunus. When I heard this first time, I was convinced, hey, this is very strong argument. I went to see a missionary. I wasn't Ahmadi at that time. And he gave me the answer and I was shocked. I said, my scholar, either he didn't know or he was lying. He was deceiving. Right now, the person used the word deceived, you are cheating, you are deceiving. That's not the reality. Okay, now, Rafa. Same thing with Rafa. Hazrat Masih Maud gave the challenge. Hazur said Rafa has been used in Holy Quran for. What is the verse? Let me see if I can find. Rafa also is the second thing which is Vazkur fil kitabi Idrisa innahu kana sadiqan nabiyan Warafa nahu makanan aliyan. Prophet of God. The word Rafa nahu. You know grammar better than me. You can explain this. Then walau shi'na la Rafa now about Balambab. So I had no answers of these arguments. And if the God is using the word about Prophet Muhammad, may Allah peace be, what message is giving us? Who is superior? Who is afzal? Nabi Pak sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And that's why Hazur said, "Ghairat ki ja hai Isa, zinda ho asman par, madfoon ho zami mein shah-e-jahan." So what message is giving? God is communicating with us through Holy Quran. So, this is all I wanted to say, Brother Razi.
Jazakallah, Mashood Saib. Beautiful explanation. Mashood Saib, I wanted to ask you, which sect were you before Ahmadiyya?
I was born Barelvi. My father used to go Barelvi Mosque. Barelvis and
Yes,
Deobandis, both are Hanafis, but they have their differences.
yes. So I
But
want to show you one video of a Deobandi that I started this stream with. So this stream was responding to this Deobandi. I want you to listen to what he says regarding Wafatimasi. It's really interesting. I'll just play that video.
But this is something that they love starting, this is something they love discussing, and this is something they like to mess up the minds of the Muslims. What is that? That is the return of Isa alayhi salatu wassalam. They will always say to you that Isa alayhi salatu wassalam has passed away. And they will try and endeavor to prove to you that Isa alayhi salatu wassalam has passed away. A very simple answer. Okay, he's passed away, and what? If you ever come across them, then your simple answer is going to be, let's say for argument's sake, Isa alayhi salatu wasalam has passed away, and what? How does that make the individual who you are wanting me to believe as a prophet, a prophet?
So you see, Mashood Batseb, now they're all saying that, and what? We don't want to debate death of Isa. And his teacher, Mashood said, his teacher is a mufti. Also listen to what he says about Isa.
He was raised towards the second heaven at the age of 33. He is there. He can see what's going on around the world. He can see what's going on around the world.
So his teacher is explaining that Hazrat Isa is alive in the skies and he's watching everything that's happening. So this is the Deobandi belief nowadays, and they're saying to their youngsters that do not discuss this with the Ahmadi Muslims, and his teacher saying on the Hazrat Isa is bodily alive and he sees everything going on. Even though we quote the verse of Falamma to faith, and which is so explicit, his teacher, and this is a Deobandi, their difference with Barelvis was on Hadir wa Nadir of Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Now they're saying that it's Hazrat Isa Alaihi who's Hadir wa Nadir. So this split happened over this, but they're saying the same thing but for Hazrat Isa Alaihi. So what are your thoughts on this? Why are they saying now to all the youth that never debate this with the Ahmadi Muslims, if they give you ayat, tell them, so what? Who cares if Hazrat Isa died?
They know very well, because now they have the experience of the last more than 100 years. And their experience is telling them that if our people go and they discuss finality of prophethood or life and death of Jesus, they will understand the reality sooner or later. That's why they want to take their people, their followers, away from this main topic. And this also surprises me, the first verdict which was written against promised Messiah, والسلام, which Hazur himself wrote in his various books, was against this belief, life and death of Jesus. That's why they wrote the Fatwa of Kufr. And Hazur has mentioned that before I made this claim, majority of the scholars, they were praising me. And majority of them, they accepted me as the reformer of 14th century. So sooner I made this claim, you called me kafir. So this was the beginning. And now they are telling people, do not discuss Ahmadis about death and life of Jesus. Why? Because they know very well we are very weak. We can never prove this. Hazrat Masih Maud has provided amazing arguments, amazing, which are impossible to answer. So their experience is telling them that's why they are trying to save their followers. But I know it will happen. Not everybody is living the life with closed eyes. Not everybody has hate in his heart. There are God-fearing people. And to be honest with you, since I accepted Ahmadiyya, so many of my friends and people, I gave the message, they accepted. With the blessings of God, 4 years ago, Hafiz, he was a Hafiz of Quran, mashallah, and he led Taraweeh 2-3 years ago in Birmingham. He did that after 4 years, but he did that.
Wow, mashallah.
So he understood. So it will happen. I'm trying to help them. For God's sake, if you really want to win, come and talk about this. Why? Why don't you talk about this? They say to us, oh, Ahmadis run away from discussing the character of promised Messiah or revelation. We are trying to make the job easy for you. Because Hazur himself has said, prove in the light of Holy Quran and Sahih Hadith that Jesus is alive. I will leave my second claim. I will understand that I misunderstood my revelation. How much time does it take? So you are running away, not Ahmadis. I was listening. You gave them enough time. They do the stream. Last Friday, I was sitting for 2.5 hours. I wanted to come and talk to those brothers. But anyway, I couldn't. And I was shocked. This is the first time I heard this stream. I was shocked when Tamim Zaka Sahib came and the first thing they said, 2 minutes. He said, how is it possible 2 minutes? They want us to explain them Zilli and Bruzi within 2 minutes. They want us to explain their allegation within 2 minutes. MashaAllah, I was very happy because this is the way an Ahmadi should. You are absolutely quiet. You were just listening to him. You gave him enough time. You did not interrupt him at all. And when you answered absolutely quietly and calm, I could not understand why did he lose his temper, to be honest. And he was so angry. Why was he angry? Why? This another thing doesn't make sense to me. Whenever, even now, today, I listen, Ahmadis and not, my faith strengthens more. With the blessings of God, last Friday, I heard the stream and I thanked to God that I am an Ahmadi. Why did he lose the temper? Why was he calling? With due respect, I didn't want to comment on him, but that's what he did. Cheater, liar, you are where did you misrepresent? I couldn't understand at all.
And Mashood Sahib, if you remember, I tell the anti-Ahmadis, they have an easy answer to all these verses we present for death of Isa. Because when I told the Sheikh, I don't know if you saw that part of the video, but I told him that Allah says, La ikraha fid din, right, in the Quran.
I haven't, but someone told me.
Yes.
I was shocked when he said to you in reply that because of the wahi of Nabi Pak Sallallahu Hadith, Hadith Qudsi maybe, the verse is abrogated. This was another very important point which played very big role. I had no idea when I was non-Ahmadi that there is this concept that the verses of Holy Quran are abrogated.
Yeah.
And I read it first time in Ahmadi books.
Yeah, Mashood Sahib, I quoted maybe 4 or 5 ayat like Lasta alayhim bimusaitir. I quoted more verses as well to show that there's no force allowed in Islam to force someone to convert. For example, in chapter 10 verse 99, Allah says, وَلَوْ شَاءَ رَبُّكَ لَآمَنَ مَنْ فِي الْأَرْضِ كُلُّهُمْ جَمِيعًا أَفَأَنْتَ تُكْرِهُ النَّاسَ حَتَّى يَكُونُوا مُؤْمِنِينَ. So his response was that these ayat are abrogated. So if their mullah has the permission to abrogate all of these verses, then these ayat we quote for hayatim, for wafat masih, why not just say they're abrogated? They're better off saying that all these ayat are abrogated. That's the only answer they have now for everything.
Beautiful point. Beautiful
right?
point. Yeah, but how can we accept this, that the verses of Holy Quran are abrogated? As a normal, ordinary Muslim, this made me very sad when I first time heard. And this is also very important point where I started really respecting Hazrat Masih Maud, because he said not even a single iota of Holy Quran is abrogated. And we stand firmly. And if we open this door, if I don't like any verse, I will say abrogated.
Yeah.
Where will we end up? And then I came to know that there were 1,000 verses. And slowly, those verses, when scholars started understanding, they, did this. And then Shah Walillah Muhaddas Deobandi, he said there are 5, which I could not resolve. And then Hazrat Khalifatul Masih Thani Raziyallah Ta'ala anhu, in a Tafsir Saghir, he has answered all those 5. So Ahmadis are serving Holy Quran day and night. I always say to my non-Ahmadi brothers, even if you cannot understand from religious point of view, even from worldly point of view, just look at Jamaat. What all the factors, elements required to make progress, they have it. One leader, unity, day and night working for the cause voluntarily, day and night, all over the world. If you think from worldly point of view, sooner or later Ahmadis will succeed. But this is just to make them understand. Otherwise, we have... And then Hazrat Masih Maud presented Holy Quran a lot. So there are so many different arguments which will shape your soul if you are a God-fearing person. Scholars, big scholars, they praised him openly. He was the only one who was standing at that time to support Islam. This scholar or Peer Mehli Shah Golda Sharif. So Shamsul Hidayah fil Asbatul Masih, his book. In that book, and at that time he was opponent. In the very beginning, you definitely know it. He said, I was stopping scholars to oppose Mirza Sahib. Why? Because I used to say to them, at least there is one person who is defending Islam against Hindus and Christians. These are the words written. Even at that time, he accepted. So Hazrat Masih Maud was the only. And what Quran said, Faqad labistu fikum umrun min qabli afala taqilun. So before his claim, you were praising him. And now you want us to forget this verse of Holy Quran and follow you people and just think about whatever he wrote after he made the claim. Is there any profit? People accepted it. Ya hasratan alal ibad ma ya'tim min rasulin illa kanu yastakbirun. So thank you very much, brother. I will not take much of your time. God bless you.